that we get all your questions asked or answered rather. And so I'm just trying to make sure that I have a good view here, because I also have this going live on YouTube. Just that small little portion. Okay, so what did I want to talk about? Well, last time we talked about active strategies, and I'll go to the speaker view. Now, a lot of you guys know my company, the Quadra Group, and we actually separate the activities, right? So what I wanted to talk about today was property management. And if you guys can see here, we do have a separate property management company. And what I love about property management, and especially for the for our friends watching on YouTube, is that it could be a really great way for you to get started in real estate without having to put, money, credit, or, depending if you had let's say if you have a job, right? You could do and start managing properties kind of in your spare time, right? It does require some effort, because becoming a property manager, it is a big responsibility, but it can get you into the game, and ultimately that's what we're looking for. So now the rules differ from province to province, state to state, and you really want to make sure you check in with the rules of your province and what you can and can't do. For example, a province like Saskatchewan, there's certain designations that you need to have to be a property manager. Also, you need a broker's license, so you're limited in some of those provinces on what you can and can't do. Now, starting a property management company, for example, in Ontario, in this, right now in this, presently, there is no governing body. There is a course that you can take. You can take property management fundamentals at the local college, at your local college. I know there's one here in Ottawa and Algonquin. I think it's like $3,500. Helene took those courses, but she didn't really find they taught much, but they did give her that credibility and that confidence, but she learned more by doing. And so when you talk about your PMCO, your property management company, what I've done is I've created a separate entity. So we have the Quadra Group Investments, which is our acquisitions company. And so I wanted to separate that from the activity of property management. And so not only do we have a property management company that manages all of our own properties, but we also, manage other people's properties. And so that could be a really great strategy to add to your deal flow. And so, property management company here in Ontario, anybody can have it, right? But I always want to separate the management with the acquisitions part. And you could, it could be like ABC, property management, whatever you want to call it. So over here, you can manage condos. So individual homes, people that have individual condos, a lot of these people they want to travel, and you could be in a situation where like if you promote yourself in the right way, if you're involved with a lot of other investors, which this is what we're doing here. Someone may have a condo and they're like, I don't want to manage this condo, and you could be in a position to manage their condos. You could manage condo corps. So this is the condo corporation. This is the entity that manages the entire building, right? You could manage homes, single family homes, right? This is now, someone buying a property and they don't have time to manage their property, so you could manage that property. You could manage commercial plazas, right? This is what the either indoor malls or outdoor malls. They're usually managed by another entity, and for a lot of investors, the activity of managing is really it's really a separate activity, and a lot of investors tend to hire property management companies to manage their either their portfolio or manage their investments as well. Hey, guess what? You can manage hotels, motels. Another investor is managing, and you can get in a situation where now you take on the hotel or whatnot, the management, and you would charge a service. You can apartment buildings, right? Apartment buildings, of course. That's my favorite asset class. Multifamily. You could form your own property management company and manage a lot of these types of asset classes. You could manage Airbnbs. Airbnbs. What does that entail? Well, you know what? Someone maybe they want to do a lot of, they want to take their basement or their single family house, and they want to do an Airbnb, but they don't have the time to, go through all the finding of the customers. And so, you could be in a position to manage someone else's Airbnb, right? You could manage the small multifamily. You could manage small multifamilies like duplexes and triplexes, even 4 units or 5 units on the small site. Maybe a little bit different than the apartment building. And so, those what does that really do for you? Well, it's gonna get you involved with real estate. It's really gonna get you directly involved with real estate and sellers and owners of properties. You could manage non-for-profit buildings, right? These are, like, let's say community type of housing or low income type of housing. There's multiple different type of housing scenarios. You could manage student housing. More like, shared co-living spaces, and you could be in a position where you can manage these. I mean, this is all part of what you're already doing anyways. This is part of real estate. You're managing your own properties. And what I like about creating a property management company is that now you have other people paying you the 10%, 5 to 10%. We'll talk about what the fees would be, but 5 to 10% of the cash flow without you really owning or having to own any real estate. So that becomes really interesting. You could manage office buildings. Of course, some of these you may not go after, right? Some of them you may need more experience, you may need more insurance, but basic things like Airbnbs you could be managing. And essentially, if you're starting out with no capital and you have to be a managing partner, well, at the end of the day, you are like a property management company. And if you have an organized property management company, that now makes you more valuable to your potential capital investors. And so that could be something really advantageous, you know, for your investor to try to connect with you, because you have an asset. You actually have a property management company. So a property management company can be very lucrative. You can manage all of these types of properties, condos, condo corporations, homes, plazas, hotels, motels, apartments, Airbnbs, small multifamilies, non-for-profit buildings, and low geared to income type of buildings, or any type of co-living space that, like a rooming house. I'm going to put here rooming house, which is, I think it's the same, it would be classified under the same thing as a student housing. Office buildings, a lot of office buildings that you could do. You may not be in a position right now to do that, but maybe it could be along the same as what you're already doing. So, fees. What would you charge, right? So it really depends on what's involved for you as the the property management company, and what are the services that you're going to be providing. For example, anywhere between 5 to 10%. Okay, 10% being the average for us, and this is what we charge. So 10%. So if you can imagine, you're making 10%. In this case, it's cash flow, right? This is 10% of every deal that you manage. And so, and you guys know this as investors, if you could get a deal that offers you 5% cash on cash, you would be on that deal all day long. And so in this case, if you're getting 10% from every deal that you're doing or you're managing, well, you're almost making more than the owner of the property. And of course, there's the overall return, the internal rate of return, where the owner is going to be, obviously in the long run, the owner is going to be making more than the 10%. But on a cash flow basis, you're actually bringing in more than the owner. And so this is a great strategy, and the reason I'm bringing this strategy here is it's really for someone that is getting started and is trying to figure out how to get in the game. You may want to do this full time, right? So you may want to transition from your regular job and do create a property management company to be engaged in real estate and just be around real estate all the time. Low barrier to entry, right? So you really don't need a lot of money except for the branding, and of course you got to network and brand yourself. But that cash flow is going to come in without you having to put money out of your pocket to own these properties. So if you imagine you have a portfolio of, like, let's say 50 to 100 properties, you're getting 10% from all of those properties. And now this really allows you to hire people in your business to manage and have an infrastructure, so now you become more valuable to your capital investors. And so this could be something that you may want to look at. So the fees are one benefit. The other one, I would say, is that you have the seller, right? You are directly connected to the seller. What does this mean? At some point, sellers are going to be willing to sell, and you'll be there. You'll know the property. You'll know everything about the property, and so this could be a really great opportunity for you to jump. That could be jump onto that deal. That could be a way to increase your deal flow, and so having access to the seller can impact your deal flow. And you can also negotiate because you know everything about that property. You know the good and the bad and the ugly of that property. So having access to the seller could be key. Something else is, buying PM codes. Okay? Buying other property management companies. So a lot of people, they try to get into the game and maybe they get discouraged, or they don't understand that that you have to actually put in some work here in terms of running a property management company, or they've been running a property management company and they just haven't, they don't make enough money for them to specifically, do the things that they have to do. This could be a great opportunity for you to go and buy other property management companies. And the best thing, the best thing about that part of the property management is that a lot of the property management company is a little bit difficult to sell, because not everybody's excited about managing properties. Also, it's hard to sell the property management company, because you're essentially selling the contracts, and then we don't know the validity of those contracts. And so our property management company, as you know, we acquired it from someone else, someone that was trying to exit the space. So this could be a great opportunity for you to see what other property management companies are there, and would you be in a position to acquire them? Now, we talked about getting started, right? And you guys are probably thinking, well, wait, hold on a second. Maybe I don't have any capital to buy another property management company. Well, guess what? Because these are extremely hard to sell and extremely hard to finance, you would be surprised. You could get 100% financing on buying your own property management company. So we were able to secure that. We already had our own, so we were able to now merge the old property management company with this new property management company that we acquired it, making it for a situation where now it's a bigger property management company. We're managing more doors, and in return, we're making more money to be able to pay more staff, to create the infrastructure, to be able to support the investments that we're trying to acquire, right? Because one thing is, we're going after some of these, bigger deals or multifamily deals, but if you don't have the infrastructure to be able to support and manage, that's going to be very difficult. And so you'll be surprised that often you do you'll see 100% seller financing. What does this mean? The sellers and the owners of these property management companies are going to be happy to finance you, because maybe it's not that profitable for them, but for you, the reason you want to have a property management company is to use it as leverage and to make your life easier and to manage all the other deals that you're doing. So that's another added benefit from my point of view. And then, what I love about it is now you have the infrastructure to be able to support that. So when it comes to PMs, okay, number one, you want to make sure you have a system. You want to have a system in place, management system, how you're going to manage these properties. You want to have good people, obviously, good people in place. Without people, you're really not going anywhere, because it is a people business. And then you want system, and of course, you want to have you want to give good service. Okay, so if you are going to be taking on clients, you want to be in a position to have a good system in place, people, and offer good service. Now, from my point of view, it's not for everyone. Okay, having a property management company, can if you're not a people person, it can hinder you from growing if you get stuck managing. The idea of having a property management company is so you are creating another stream of income, and the objective is to be able to hire people so you now can create an infrastructure for you to grow. So that may be something that you want to do. I'll stop this recording here and say bye to our friends. And I'm going to thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment down below, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified the next time we're doing a video. And guess what? Like, share, dislike, I don't care! Let me see how that looks.